videos,
music,
podcasts,
road trips,
DIY projects,
and more.
You're hanging out with Wren and Mark, and this is
Rapid Fire with Robert's Roost.
Hi, and welcome to Sit and Sew with Wren. I didn't put my teeth in for this, and today I'm going to teach you how I like to sew some stuff together. I've got one of my favorite band t-shirts right here, this Stupid Henchman. Absolutely fantastic. If you haven't heard them, go check them out. I have a pit bull that likes to nibble on my blanket, so there's teeny tiny little holes. There's one here, and there's one here, and the threading is coming apart on different parts of this blanket, so I'm going to go ahead and sew another front of a t-shirt to it. So I'm going to show you guys how to cut up a t-shirt and sew it onto a blanket and repurpose it, so that way you get to hold on to the good stuff. My string of choice is dental floss, the waxed kind. If you get the minty one, it's got a nice little fresh smell to it. And I got my trusty little needles that I'm going to use for sewing. I already got one out. So I get the bigger one with the big little eye on the bottom. Or the top, I guess, whichever way you look at it. And then I got my scissors. I got fabric cutting scissors for my t-shirt, so that way it makes it nice and easy. And then I got my little pins. They're pretty cute. They're in a little flower case. And they're yellow. They got little things on the end. Here we go. These scissors are fantastic. And then I'm just going to trim it to look a little more even. Hey, nothing in life is perfect, right? There we go. I think that's where I'm going to place it. So I'm going to get my pins. So, see what I did there? Anything that I like to sew, I always pin it down. It just makes it so much easier to keep the placement of it while you're sewing onto it. And then I take them out as I'm going. Okay, now that I got my project all pinned down, for every project you're going to need a different amount of thread, or floss in my case. I've kind of guesstimated sort of sometimes the right amount, but usually for something this big, I usually use like 2 sections of thread. That way I'm not working with so much floss, but I always try to get the right amount, but we'll see. Okay, so then I get my thread, I got my needle on the thread, or the thread on the needle, and then I make sure that it's split in 2 around the needle and even at the end, and then I tie a little loop in it. I use my finger a bit, and then boop. Now you got a nice knot at the end of your thread. And I'm going to start my project. You can sew it as far apart as you want the stitches, or as close together. I don't know. Whatever your preference. Sewing can be really fun. It can be really relaxing and a nice way to let out stress. I enjoy it.
Excited for your sit and sew video?
Do you think it's gonna be cute? Do you think I did good talking?
Mm-hmm.
So I cut the thread. I have 2 little guys of thread, right? It's floss, so if you use a lighter, be careful. Don't burn yourself, you know. And you burn it, and then you push it out. I got about halfway through. So I'll do about the same amount. There's floss everywhere! Ah! Ta-da! Now we're ready to sew. Hopefully I don't look like a complete idiot at the end of this. So I'm coming on the last couple of stitches. Now everybody does things differently and everybody does it in their own way, but at the end of my sewing project I like to make a little X right where it's finished. X marks the spot. Fiddled it up funny. So there we go. And then I'm going to come through here and I'm going to make one more X just to secure it on down. And then I'll just come back right here. They're there for me, not anybody else, so if they're not perfect, I don't care. Get your scissors, cut it as long as you want it. I like about that much. And then I'm going to cut the first one I did too. And then, since I use dental floss, if you burn it, it stays really long and really good, and I like it. So that's what I'm going to do. Got my last pin out, and let's see the finished product. And that is how I cut a t-shirt into a patch, and sew a patch on my blanket so my pit bull can keep nibbling on my blanket, and it's not putting any holes in my favorite quilt from my grandma. Happy sewing!